Welcome to the Arts to Hearts podcast, a show for artists, creators, creative entrepreneurs to have heartfelt conversations about living a creative life and a career. As you go into this show, hear your favorite creators talk about money, mindset, business, creativity, and everything else that goes behind into making a life that we all adore as an artist. Hear the messy and the wonderful side of being a creative. I am your host, Charika Arora, an artist, creator, and founder of Arts to Hearts project. Thank you for joining me here. Let's jump right in. Okay, before we get into this episode, let me remind you about some new opportunities that are live right now on Arts to Heart. The enrollment for the Fearless Creative Mastermind is open till 3rd of March 2022. The Fearless Creative Mastermind is designed specifically for women creatives. Are you a visual artist navigating how to build a fulfilling career and have big dreams and want to live on your own terms? Then this mastermind is for you. We're calling out for all women creatives who are highly ambitious, deeply passionate, and know that they have the potential to make their dreams come true, but their fears are holding them back. Then this mastermind is for you. Join this mastermind if you want to break your fears into small actionable steps so that you can go after your dreams without being overwhelmed or stuck. Want to take the next jump in your career, but you're feeling scared? We got you. Join the Fearless Mastermind and grow alongside other ambitious women creatives. You can enroll now by going to www.artstoheartsproject.com/the Fearless Creative Mastermind. You can also find the link on our website, and the enrollment closes on March 3rd, 2022. So make sure you enroll before that. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to spend more time with you. Our new Call for Art guest curated by Saraj Red is now live on Arts to Hearts. The theme for this open call is From the Shadows, and the open call ends on March 14th. Sarah is a London-based visual artist, illustrator, and she's had a 25 years long career. She's such a brilliant artist, and I am so excited for her to curate this show for us. The theme for this open call is From the Shadows, and we look forward to many interpretations of what this means to you. This open call is open to all women artists in different mediums like drawing, painting, mixed media, etc. So you can go right now and submit on www.artstoheartsproject.com/submit. We can't wait to see your submissions. Let's get back into the episode. Hey you guys, welcome back to the Arts to Hearts podcast. I am your host Charika, and welcome back to the season 2. Anyone who's joining us for the first time, I want to say a big thank you. And anyone who's joining us or who's a regular listener, I want to say a big thank you. In today's episode, I have a lovely friend of mine, and this episode is going to be a little different than our usual episodes because, of course, I've got a friend of mine and who I dearly love, but she also has something. She's amazing. She's brilliant. She's just so talented that definitely I had to bring her on the podcast for sure. But today I have another reason for having her here. So I have been thinking about NFTs for so long. Believe me, it's been on my mind for forever. I even started on working on one, and I thought like, okay, once I have the piece and then, things will get easier. Maybe I can get the ball rolling. And honestly, a lot of times when we see something's been working, like when everything's new and fresh and a lot of people are succeeding, it's new, it's exciting. We all want to try it, and I definitely wanted to try it and see maybe, if it was something for me. But the biggest problem I faced in this process was that I just never had enough time to figure things out for myself. There's ample of information online. There's ample of information that I can figure out. But I need to invest that much of time that I felt was very hard given the things I had on my plate already. But I still wanted to get into it. One day I saw Val, who's our guest for today that I will introduce in a moment, who shared a post about selling her NFT. And then I saw another, and I was like, you know what? Instead of figuring life out of on my own, I'm going to reach out to Val and ask if she's going to help me out. Which, of course, very kindly she agreed. And then we thought, now just because Val is going to help me out and figure things out as an artist to artist, where we're in the same zone, and it's easier for me to relate with what and how she's doing, and I figure things out on my way, and I know the questions I have she might have had for her own self. And we decided to make this also a podcast episode so that it's not only me that she's teaching and sharing her knowledge with, but we all get access to. The goal for this podcast is to simplify the process of NFTs, launching NFTs, and questions and so many doubts we have as artists, especially as artists, like emerging artists, contemporary artists, like, and especially people who have like who've never done it and they're overloaded with information. So this is for you. We have a master teacher today who's going to be Valerie. Welcome to the podcast, Val.
Hi, thanks for having me, and thanks for the lovely
Thank
introduction.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for kindly agreeing for this.
That's all good. I'm happy to be here.
Well, okay, well, before we get into this, anyone who's listening to this episode, can you talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and where you are from?
Yes, my name is Valerie Auersberg. I'm originally from Austria, but I live in New Zealand now. I used to only do digital drawings and have then last year started painting acrylic on canvas. My work is mainly pop surreal scenes of optimism and escapism, I'd say. Often dealing with my own memories, but also pop cultural symbols and icons, all mixed together, basically.
Okay,
And always add some humorous elements as well. I can
I
say.
love your work. I remember so Val and I have had so many plans that we needed to figure out together. Like, I think it was 2020 then when you were doing the Super Fine Art Fair, and I wanted to come and join in, and we thought that we will be able to do it together. Unfortunately, nothing happened. Did you finally made it to the event? Did they really do it offline?
No, I wanted to go. No, the last time I was 2020, and then last year didn't happen. This year I had to cancel because the borders in New
Yeah,
Zealand are still closed. So
yeah,
I'm hoping I
yeah.
can make it next year. But at this stage, not.
Really? You
I'm
don't
not to.
entice me. Okay, let me know where you're thinking. I'm still waiting for my visa. The visa offices in India still not opening.
Oh,
I'm so desperately waiting to get a visa so that I can fly to you guys.
yes, that'd be so nice.
Okay, so you said you've been, I know, when we met 2 years ago. Wow, can't believe that. You were
Yeah.
into digital. I remember very, very clearly. And we also had this conversation also because I was also like, I don't know, a lot of people know this or not. A lot of my like before figuring things out, I was a lot more into digital, not just digital art. I was like you, graphic and branding and all of that. And I remember when we spoke, you were also like highly involved in just the digital, and then you expanded your horizon. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think it all came about because I really missed that feeling of holding a brush or working away from the computer, away from a screen. Because I'm also freelancing as as a graphic designer, I feel like I'm spending so much time on the computer. It's just I really
Yeah,
felt the urge to get away from screens and just kind of work on actual
yeah,
canvases. It's been
yeah.
great. And the great thing about it is also is I moved away from that perfectionism because
Oh, absolutely.
when you create digital art, you can just move things and change colors and yeah, as often as you want. Whereas if you paint
Yeah, and I
something,
think
so you have to just accept that it's not going to be perfect, and that's been quite great for me to just accept.
I love that idea. Yeah, that's true. And it's also, I think, another really important point with digital versus analog is the quickness of things. I think when I was doing a lot more digital, I just had a hang like I had to finish something in some whatever time hours or something.
Yeah,
Then I realized, okay, when I'm doing like a physical work, if it's a smaller work, I may do it in a day or like 4 hours or whatever. But then just the whole learning curve of accepting that something that you work on will take months,
Yeah.
and then you have to break the flow. Like with digital, you don't have to wait for something to dry, something
Yeah.
to, and you're just in the flow. I mean, as long as you're not tired, you can keep going.
Yeah.
But with and I think this is my biggest struggle even with oil painting today. Like I love gouache. I just absolutely love. I think they are my next, like my first love. But it's a quite an intensive learning curve. Okay. So you moved from, like, you are today you're doing both digital and analog, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I still sketch most of my things digitally. So I still
Okay.
kind of create the composition digitally and all of that, and play with the colors digitally until I like them, and then I paint it. But during the painting process, I often change things, or often add little elements that I feel like need to be on there.
Yeah.
It's
Makes
still,
sense.
I'm kind of still
Yeah.
bridging both worlds.
And is that even a bridge? I think we all think there's like a perfect balance. I figure in my own, like, I think, we all have like these waves, like our career or our practice is like into these waves. Some days, like, I feel like I'm so highly um in the studio, in the zone, and just making and something, even like physically also, like in a form of painting or something. And some days I feel like I'm just so much on my laptop because there's so much that I have to do.
Yeah,
And and it's not even I have to do. Sometimes I don't feel even like, I get exhausted and then I don't feel like doing something. And honestly, I've never found a day where I feel like a time where I'm like, oh, this is also good and this is. I feel like there's always this, something is a little up, something's a little down. Like it
yeah,
just keeps. Sometimes it's off the roof.
yeah. I definitely feel like that, and that's why I like the working in both, because it's kind of like when
Yeah,
you have one, you can just move
breaks the
to
monotony.
remove yourself from one world and just immerse yourself in
Yeah,
another, like recharge like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's quite
Okay.
nice.
Then you got into NFTs. Can you talk a little bit about what really, we all know what NFT is, but even for someone who doesn't, can you also break that down? In the whole goal of this conversation is, I know nothing about, let's say, I know anyone who's listening, or I who knows nothing about NFTs, but wants to learn, wants to understand, and maybe also wants to do it. We'll
Yeah.
talk in such ways that we all can understand what's happening, how to do it, and maybe out of this conversation, we a lot of more NFTs come out. And if you
I love
do, please
that.
tag Valerie and me into that, so that we know that we did something good, isn't it?
Yes, I'd love to see that.
So let's start with what NFTs is, and then also why they interested you in the first place.
So what it is, an NFT. So NFT stands for non-fungible token, which still might not mean anything to most people, but it's basically a unique digital artwork that has a unique key associated with it. So it's
Okay.
so a token in the digital sense is something like a Bitcoin, for example, is a token,
Okay.
but NFTs, but that's a fungible token, meaning it can be exchanged same for same. So
Oh.
one Bitcoin is the same as another Bitcoin, whereas a non-fungible token, there's nothing like it. You can't exchange it. You can't exchange a piece of art for the same piece of art because it doesn't exist. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, I've heard it compared to trading cards. You know, if you have a real rare card that just exists as a one-off, um, but in the digital sense.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah,
make
so
sense?
basically, basically NFT is like, if I have, like, let's say if I have a pencil, and if I bring it on the digital farm, I'm not saying NFT or anything else. I'm just trying to simplify it for all of us. If I have a pencil, if I bring it on the digital form, it gets a unique ID, like we all get those ID cards, which
Mm-hmm.
defines that this is a unique pencil. And since it's been registered on the digital platform or the network
Mm-hmm.
as, let's say, as an NFT that we're calling, so that is how an NFT, what necessarily is an NFT?
Yeah, so it's basically gets recorded on the blockchain. So the blockchain
Yeah.
is basically you know, in the olden days, the accountants had like levers where they'd write down all the like outgoings and incomings and all of that. That's
Okay.
basically the blockchain where everything's registered. Everything that's ever been created is registered there. Anytime it's being sold,
Yeah.
it's registered there. So once it's registered
Yeah,
on
they
the
track a lot more movements, and everything that you're doing.
yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, they put a tag on a pencil, and then they track every little thing a pencil does, like
yeah.
even
So
as
pencil
closely
gets
as breathing, I believe.
sold. If you sell me a breathing pencil, I would love that.
Oh wow, the breathing pencil.
That gives me
I love
ideas.
that idea. That should be an NFT now.
Yeah, I think so.
Can we have some pencils in like the ones that I have in your background?
Oh,
That would
yeah,
be fun.
that would be awesome.
Okay. So we've spoken about NFTs. Let's also speak about how did you get into NFTs, and what made you what
Um,
made you interested in the first place?
well, when I first heard about it, I found it very interesting because having been a digital only artist, I always found it hard to find a platform to sell my art because I could sell prints, but there was no platform to sell the original digital work. So there was no
Yeah.
such thing as an original. And then NFTs finally allowed digital artists to sell original work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I found that very fascinating. And then I did a boot camp with the Artist Catalyst, and then basically that's where it started. And then I just created one. And sold it.
Okay. When you figured about NFTs and when you thought about launching one, what were your most like obvious in like your inhibitions about doing it, or that something that was holding you back?
Um, Probably the environmental factor was the biggest
Okay.
thing that really held me back for a while,
Hmm.
because it is very heavy on the environment, especially
Yeah.
on the Ethereum blockchain, which is what's used for NFTs.
Yeah.
Um, but they're now also creating blockchains that are less heavy on the environment. Like, for example, there's one called Polygon, so that's
Yeah.
much on the environment. So I'm going to switch to that next.
Okay. By
Um,
switch, as in
Pardon?
by switch, you mean?
But
Okay,
switch,
you'll
I mean,
choose like
I'll
another
sell it on the Polygon blockchain instead of on the Ethereum
Okay.
blockchain. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
What were
yeah,
your
that was
innovations as artist, as someone who's trying like
it.
all together a new explored? I don't even know what to call it, like a medium. I don't know. I mean, there's
I
like
mean,
an
it's
unexplored medium, and
yeah.
um, we all have like uh, inhibitions or things that like should I do this? Is my work? I think with you, the good thing was that you knew your work was a good fit because you were already doing digital drawings and all of that. But I also read about it and I was like, like NFTs doesn't have to be just digital drawings or it
No,
could be anything and everything. Like that's what the whole concept is about.
exactly. It's very accessible, and I think a lot of people are a bit scared of it because of the whole digital factor. But
Yeah.
really, if you post something on Instagram, you've created a digital piece of art. So you've
Yeah, that's true.
already done it.
Even if it's a photographic of something,
Even if it's
like
a
people are
photo.
selling their photographs, like let alone anything else.
Yeah, people are selling photos. People are selling little video clips. People are selling music clips. I mean, people are selling tweets. I mean,
Really?
Jack Dorsey sold his first ever tweet. I think it was like $3 million or something crazy
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness. What's happening in this world?
But saying that, it's definitely not like a get rich fast scheme for everyone. So
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
create one and expect to wake up a millionaire the next day.
But if you do, let us know if that happens.
Yes, exactly. I'm super happy for everyone that
I
happens to.
yeah. I wish a little bit of magic happens for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what were your fears as an artist, especially like apart from environmental and all of these fears, but just fears as a maker, like the fear of beginning a new medium, unexplored
Um,
medium, figuring things out,
I
and
think
like
for
all
that,
of those.
Yeah, I wasn't really that worried about because, like you said, I already did my work digitally. I was very comfortable in creating videos. I was very comfortable in the digital space already. So it was more like the thought of the first time I did it, the thought of uploading it and am I uploading it to the right thing? Am I clicking the right buttons? Like all of those little things that I was a bit apprehensive about. Um, but yeah, mostly I was just excited.
Okay. So you were
Yeah.
quite a few steps ahead of a lot of us.
Yeah. But
I'll
saying
tell
that,
you.
if you
Yeah.
take a photo, if you ever uploaded anything anywhere, that's already a digital piece of art. So I think it sounds scarier than it is.
I think that's true. Okay, break this down for me. I know a few questions I have in my mind a lot of times. I majorly make like traditional media now, like my mixed media works.
Hmm.
And ever since I have been thinking about doing an NFT or something, you know, I would like, okay, maybe I need to just work on a separate digital media, which is just NFT inspired, like just for NFTs or something like that. Or should I get my works photographed and then launch an NFT about that? Um, if I do like a physical work, what do I do of my original work? I mean, do I sell an NFT and an original both, or if I'm doing a print, and can I launch an NFT of the same artwork I'm doing a print of? Like, do you know what are
Yeah,
your thoughts on these
yeah. So
questions?
from what I understand, so when you sell something as an NFT, you only sell the NFT. You do not sell the copyright. So the copyright
Okay.
to the work still sticks with you. So you can still sell it as prints. You can still sell the original. But what you can also, and what some people also do, they sell the NFT and then have a hidden kind of Easter egg in there where people can unlock extras. So you can unlock a print. So if they buy an NFT, you can give them a print as a bonus,
Oh,
for
wow.
example. Yeah.
Okay. So
But yeah.
you're saying if I'm doing an NFT of a work that I have in physical form, which is like an original, I can still keep that original and sell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that I think I have on my mind is, how do you even figure the pricing of an NFT?
Well, I figured it by just having a look what other people sell their NFTs for, and then
How
just
what was your first price?
my
What was the
first
first
price
NFT
was
price tag?
0.02 Ether, which was at the time, I think it was like between 600 and 700 US dollars.
Oh wow.
So
Okay,
that
that's
was kind of the
amazing.
average of what people sold their work that were new to the space and that hadn't sold a lot yet.
So your first NFT was on what platform?
On Foundation.
Okay. Now
So
I know
there's
you're using OpenSea now and like all of those, right?
Yeah, so OpenSea is the largest open platform. And
Okay.
then there's also curated platforms like Foundation or Super Rare or Nifty Gateway. All of those are curated platforms that also they basically operate like a gallery where they also take a commission cut.
Oh,
So
okay.
um,
Okay. So, can you walk us through your process, break it into steps little by little, of how you launched, like how, if I'm like, let's say, these were some of my questions that I had that were holding me back, basically. So, great, you answered them. Thank you. Now, let's say now I'm ready. I'm like, okay, let's give it a go. I'm
yeah,
going to pick up something from my bucket. This is exactly what I'm going to do, actually. And anyone who's listening, let's all of us try to do that. Did you create a fresh piece for this one, the first NFT you launched, or did you use the one that you already had?
no. So the first one was of a digital drawing I've already had, but I altered it,
Perfect.
I made it into a video. So
Perfect. This is
it was
such a great idea. So, what we all can do is, and that's what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up a piece of one of my collages that's with me, and I'm going to launch an NFT of that.
Yeah.
Now, let's say I have that piece in mind. Now
Yeah.
there are ways, like you mentioned. One way is that I can exactly keep the piece, photograph it, and launch it on as an NFT. The other way is I can play around it with it like a little bit more digitally, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so can you walk us through, like, if I'm going to convert, like, let's also, like, I'm really asking very basic and questions because I know, like, sometimes I feel like I am technologically quite advanced, like I've been here for a while, so it's not such a challenge. But a lot of times, I also face a lot of challenges, but what feels so obvious to me, I know that it's not for a lot of people. And I just feel like I need to be more informed about a lot of information that people don't know about, and I can
Yeah.
keep breaking that down. First, is there any size limit, like when you're launching, like doing a JPEG, PNG, like does it have to be under certain GBs, or does it have to be certain quality or something like that?
Not that I've come across. So mine was that I uploaded was an MP4. It was quite large, and that was no problem. So
Really? So you, like,
probably,
it has nothing to do with the
probably,
size and all of that.
I mean, that probably if you try and upload it, something that's like, I don't know, 100 gigabytes, they might
Yeah.
restrict it. But
Yeah.
I haven't come across it.
Okay. So you basically took one of your pieces and then convert it into a video.
Yeah, I took one of my pieces and then created a video. So added new. So basically, the piece was of a lady sitting on a chair looking at her phone, and her face was an emoji. And I
Oh,
then took it and created other emojis on her face, and basically it flicks through all the emojis.
oh my God. Oh, I remember now. Yes, I can recall. Can I add this in our show notes for everyone who's listening and if they want to check out?
Absolutely.
So you're
Yeah,
going to send me that link.
yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so
send it.
anyone who's listening, you can check this NFT out of Valeries. I'm going to link it on our show notes that you can go check out on www.arts2artsproject.com. You'll also find more works from Valerie, her prints, and other work. So, and believe me, I love her work so much. It makes me just so happy, so happy. Okay, let's get back to our learning.
Yeah,
So okay, I'm going to break this down for me. I'm going to pick up a piece, see if I want to alter it. Maybe I do, but it's not so complicated. You just don't have to alter it. It's like I always love making things complicated for me for some reason. So I know even though it could be easier, I could just take a picture. I also got a new camera just now, so it'll give
ooh,
me another reason
yeah.
so to play with it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to, maybe, if not edit, but whatever. You can just
Yeah.
take a picture
Like,
as long as it's a picture,
exactly,
right?
and you can also do like a boomerang, or you can do a little process video, because I've seen a lot of
Really?
artists process videos of
Have you
their.
seen artists sell, like, or do NFTs of process videos?
I've heard of an artist that said he's gonna do it. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's
My
literally anything,
goodness.
anything,
I think
anything
so. The
goes.
biggest thing is, even if we do that, I think my mental block is, how am I going to sell this? I think there's this discomfort because we've
Yeah,
never, and it's so, I think we as artists create so much. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, we create so much of content, and the kind of content that we create also takes lots of effort and labor. Like, not trying to demean anyone, nothing, but for someone, let's say, on Instagram, who's, let's say, who's a fashion blogger, the effort of curating an outfit versus, like, creating an artwork, like, that's a lot of free content, like, lot
yeah,
of free content, and we share that every day. We share, like, how to do processes, or, like, our process videos and all of that. And we all know, like, it's a lot of added effort when you're doing the work. Like, sometimes I absolutely hate recording because I feel so distracted, or,
yeah.
like, not in the
What
zone.
you
But we still do it. We
mean?
still show up. We create that content, but we're never paid for that content. Surprisingly, a fashion blogger still gets paid. because they can have affiliates and all of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
But I think like even with the amount of effort we guys put in, uh, and not even able to monetize any bit of it. Now, when you think about it, is you can get paid for something you've been doing and you don't have a habit for. I think that's a little uncomfortable because you have a habit of doing something that you're not getting paid off, and suddenly you think someone says, "Oh, you could get paid for this," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Really?"
I know. It's great
So,
though,
are you
because
going to launch?
pardon?
Are you thinking of doing like a process video or something?
No, I think I'll stick with little videos of my drawings or alterations of my drawings.
Perfect. Okay, so now let's move forward.
Yeah.
Once we have our JPEG videos, can we also, I think I'm sure we can do GIFs
Yeah, you
and
GIFs, videos, and static and MP3,
pictures.
MP4s.
Perfect.
Um,
Okay, so once I have that, what is
yeah.
my next step?
So your next step is you have to set up a wallet, which means like a wallet
Oh, that's the
for
hard part.
cryptocurrency. So your wallet will be basically your logins to any marketplace. So
Okay.
I used a wallet called Metamask. So you can just go
Okay.
online to Metamask. I think it's metamask.io, but I can send you that link too. And then set up your wallet.
Okay.
Once you have the wallet set up, you can already buy some Ethereum if you want to,
Okay.
which because you will need the Ethereum if you want to list your NFT. So I would recommend buy, I don't know, $50 worth of Ethereum.
Okay.
Um,
But you're saying you've also found like a better alternative, which is
Polygon, yeah.
yeah.
So you
So
can also
are you going
start,
to try that now?
yeah. So you can also start with MetaMask. You can also start on Polygon.
So I'm going to go on MetaMask. And exactly what is MetaMask? It's like a wallet.
Yeah, MetaMask is like a wallet basically, which will hold your cryptocurrency. But
Okay.
it also holds, if you buy an NFT, it'll also hold your NFT in there. So yeah, just see it,
Okay. So it's
see it like
like a where incoming of money and outgoing of anything that we're doing.
yeah,
So it's
basically
like
like
a bag,
account. Yes, yeah,
virtual bag. So we are going to first sign up for a virtual bag.
yeah. So sign up for MetaMask, and that is your
Okay.
key to everything else as well. So when you sign up for MetaMask, it'll give you a unique key, which is like a whole row of words. This that
Okay.
you'll see it when you log in. I'm just saying, write that down
Okay.
somewhere. That's going to be your passcode. Should you ever lose your logins, that's
Okay.
your recovery code. So write that down on a piece of paper and put it somewhere safe.
Okay.
Um,
So, is there any charge in this process of signing up for MetaMask?
no, no
No.
charge. So you just sign
So
up
I
for.
haven't spent anything yet.
No, you haven't spent anything yet. So you sign up for
Okay.
MetaMask, then you go to OpenSea, for
Then I
example.
go to OpenSea.
You go to
Okay.
OpenSea, you sign up to OpenSea, and you connect
Okay.
by connecting to your wallet.
And how does that connection is like?
So
Do I have
your
to do something?
yeah, so your MetaMask will be in Chrome, will be like a Chrome extension. You know those Chrome
Okay.
extensions you see up near your browser bar?
Yeah.
So you'll
Yeah.
see you'll see a little fox up there, which is MetaMask.
Okay.
And once you're in OpenSea and you want to connect,
Okay.
it'll ask you to connect your wallet, and you click connect
Okay.
with MetaMask. Then MetaMask
Okay.
will automatically pop up and say, please sign. And there's a button that says sign, where you basically allow OpenSea and MetaMask to be connected.
Okay. So basically, I have very little to do in this.
Yeah,
OpenSea and MetaMask are going to deal with each other in that
exactly.
process.
They're dealing with each other. And then whenever you want to log into your OpenSea, you have to log in via your MetaMask. So you don't actually have
Okay.
like a password and log in for OpenSea.
Oh, it's the same.
It's all linked with your MetaMask.
Oh, perfect.
Makes sense? So they're
So,
basically the
yes,
gatekeeper.
oh my God, I can't even tell you, like, I had this like whole mystery of how things are going to happen. And now when you're explaining it, it just I think it's also reduced so much of the overwhelm
Yeah.
because it no longer like, when you know that when you have information broken into steps,
Yeah.
okay, I can take off, this is what I can do, this is what I need to figure out. So far so long, I think the only thing I need to figure out is what artwork I want to use. I
Yeah.
think everything you've mentioned is so much doable for any of us. Like, you just need to go onto the internet, search something, sign up
Yeah.
for something. We all know how to do that. That's
Yeah.
it, right?
Exactly. Follow the steps. Read what it says at each step, and yeah, yeah.
So, okay, this far also I haven't spent anything, right?
Nothing. So you've created your OpenSea account. You've put in your profile picture and your name and a short bio, and then what you can do is then create. So there's a button that says create. So you can create an
Okay.
NFT, which is basically you upload your NFT.
Okay.
So this step to upload is basically the minting step.
Okay.
So on some platforms like Foundation, for example, they charge a fee for that process. On OpenSea, they don't charge a fee for uploading yet.
Okay.
So if we stick with OpenSea, you upload your piece of art,
Which
and
is
it'll
like
be
basically I'm going to upload something on Instagram or like
exactly,
WordPress or like any website. I'm going to pick up my picture. I'm going to take details of that, add
exactly.
like the title, price, probably
Yeah.
size, and all of those things.
So
And
you
then,
so you don't put the price yet. You just put the title and upload
okay.
it. So yeah, you upload, for example,
Okay.
your JPEG, and then
Okay.
once it's there, you can list it for sale. So you can list it either as an auction or you can list it as a fixed price on OpenSea.
Okay. And
Um,
when do we add that price about?
that's what you do then. At that stage, when you basically list it for sale, that's when you what they call mint it. So it means you stamp
Okay.
it onto the blockchain. So then that's when it officially exists in the blockchain.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and for that, you have to pay a fee.
Okay, so for minting, okay, yes, this is a part that can you talk a little bit more about? Okay, I didn't get this one.
Okay, so when you list it, it's so basically stamping it on the blockchain is you basically in the register. It officially exists
Okay,
on the blockchain and will forever be on there. Does that
okay.
make
So
sense?
that is what like listing is. Like so far until the point that you're uploading, we're actually collating all the information together,
Yeah,
but and it's there and we've added to the registry. But now to actually make it an official entry, you convert it for listing and you
yeah, you
add like a sale price.
yeah, and which will mint it, and then that's when you add a sale price, and that's when they charge you what they call a gas fee.
And now, what is this gas fee? How much is this gas fee?
Gas
Is this a
fee
flat fee
is like
or
no,
like
it's
a
not flat fee. It wildly fluctuates. Like when I minted my very first NFT, I think I paid like $50-$60. For my second
okay,
one, I paid $150, something around that.
$150?
So I actually just checked before what the current gas prices are, and currently it's between $50 and $90. So the more you
Okay,
pay,
so this is a good time.
yeah. So the more you pay, the faster it will be on the blockchain. The less you pay, the longer it'll take. So
Sorry, can you say that again?
if you want to list it immediately, you have to pay a little bit more. If you don't mind waiting
Okay,
a few hours, then you pay a little less.
okay.
So
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of but I don't really know what the factors are. I think if there's a lot of people
yeah,
minting at the same time, the prices are higher.
yeah.
So
I think it could be also a processing fee or like, I don't know, but I think that this happens in a lot of places
mm,
where, express urgency and they charge you more and then if you can wait it out,
yeah,
you
it's
get
kind of
it
like
for
that as well. Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
once you've put it up for sale, then you can basically start advertising it on your. So Twitter is a very big space for NFTs. A lot
Yeah.
of NFT communities are on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that.
But of course, you
Did
can
you? Are
also,
you on NFT now? Are you on Twitter now?
yeah. Yeah, I'm on Twitter
Did
now.
you like? Were you on Twitter when you actually launched your first
Um,
NFT?
I was on Twitter, but I didn't use it. So I never really, because
Okay,
Twitter isn't,
where most of us will be right now.
yeah. I only really started to be a little bit more active, or like actually opening the app more than once a year in the last month. Um,
So did you share about the NFT on Twitter? Did you find like
yeah,
did
so
you find people online on Twitter in
the
context to
first
NFTs?
one, because I'm not really active on there, I don't really have a huge followership. So I
Yeah.
shared it on there. I shared it, but I also shared it on Instagram. I shared it on Facebook. I sent out a couple of newsletters with it.
Yeah.
So basically, all the traditional advertising channels work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Now, so this is the process of launching an NFT, right?
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
you've now got it up for sale,
Now,
the will to buy.
yeah, perfect. Now I have questions post the process. A lot of people will have, I have. I think a lot of things people hold us like questions or fears that hold us back. Oh, that especially when there's also cost involved, right?
Mm.
Um, let's say if I want to launch an NFT, and my first thought that comes in, I don't even know if I can even sell it. I don't even know who buys. I don't even know anyone in this whole thing. And if anything else, I'm just going to lose money by investing my time and money into it. I think one of the most common fears and something that holds us back is that.
Yeah.
Um, can you share your insights about when you launched? How did you know anyone? How that happened?
So when I launched it, I didn't know anyone that had bought an NFT or was interested in buying one. But then I actually started talking about it to more people, and then I realized a friend of mine was actually interested in buying NFTs and started getting into that space, and he was the one that ended up buying it. But
Okay, wow. So it was
it's
totally out of the
really,
blue.
yeah, because I feel like the more you talk about what you do, the more you tell people about it,
Yeah,
then you'll find out
yeah,
people are interested. Then you'll find out um, that more people than you know are actually interested in that topic. So talk about it, talk to people, get people excited,
yeah,
people interested.
yeah. Perfect. How many NFTs have you sold so far, if you want to
I just
share?
sold the one, and I've
Okay.
just released the second one recently.
And you told me that you're working on something right
Yeah,
now.
and I'm working on now like a little collection of NFTs.
Wow. Like, are you going to launch them all together or like,
Yeah,
um, wow.
yeah, I think so.
Um, let's let's also talk about now selling. Let's say we have, and I think this bottleneck is just not in NFTs. Artists face this everywhere. Like, you can make the work. I think that's the easy job for a lot of
Yeah,
us. To sell the work, to promote that work is the hard job.
yeah,
Like, um, okay, my fundamental basic question: the MP4 or the image or anything that we used. Now that's on the blockchain, but we can of course use that anywhere else for promotions, right?
yeah, yeah. Because it'll be
That
like
also means,
anywhere else, it won't be that unique token.
yeah, but it'll still be the same thing, but it won't be like a unique ID that
No,
is
no,
on the NFT,
yeah,
right? So anything I make, the same image, I can use that for promotions.
yeah,
Okay. For promotions, LinkedIn, Twitter is a big NFT space.
yeah.
Instagram, people that you know, just spreading that word
Yes,
out there. I
newsletter.
think,
Yeah.
okay, newsletter, yes, fantastic.
What I also did
Basic,
when I sent it out in my
yes,
newsletter, what I also did, I also added little buttons explaining what an NFT is and the why investing in like why people would invest in NFTs. So I basically added all that information into the newsletter. So if someone's interested, they can then
interested.
read up on it a bit more. And
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
Okay. What else do I have? Okay. So basically, what I feel is if I have my work sorted, if once I have my work
Mhm.
ready to upload, then it's not even an hour that takes
Yeah, no, it's
to
very
pull
fast.
this off together.
Yeah,
It's pretty fast. So anyone who's listening to this episode can actually, I mean, we all can launch an NFT in a day,
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think I have to do that challenge.
I think just try it. Just see it as an investment. You know. You
Yeah, absolutely. I think the more than anything, the thrill of learning something new
yeah, that's
and
what I loved as well.
understanding another.
I'm just
Yeah,
so
I
curious about the whole, metaverse, about NFTs. I'm just very curious about that whole new space that's kind of coming towards us.
same. Yeah,
Like, I've
I
actually,
think for me the most exciting thing is to see it. I think one, even if you don't instantly, not even, I'm not talking even about the longer term, but even if we don't gain anything instantly in sense of monetary, I think experiencing a new medium or something that's completely new opens up your mind in different ways. You see the possibility of how you approach your work in
yeah,
such a, just now you said people are selling their process. And I think even if you don't want to, I think sell, I mean, when people do YouTube videos, ideally, if you see, they're also selling their content in some ways,
yeah,
they're monetizing their content.
yeah,
I think the whole difference is one thing happens in one way, something happens in another way.
yeah,
But I think it just opens up your mind that so much more is possible than we just think or than what we know.
yeah,
And when you try something completely new, it's it's like a different kind of learning that you can apply into what you're already doing.
yeah, exactly. And then one other
And yeah,
benefit of for artists to do NFTs is that you still earn money on the secondary market. So if you sell your NFT and then that person resells it, you still get a percentage of
yeah,
that sale forever.
yeah,
That's something that's really missing in
yeah.
traditional art
Yeah.
market.
That's
Like,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so basically, let's say if I launched an NFT,
mhm.
which I will, and we'll do like will you also launch another NFT with me?
Yes, I love that.
Perfect. So what we'll do is let's figure this out right now. Anyone who's listening to this episode, let's put out like a challenge in a day. Like let's put out some hashtag. We'll figure this out.
Yeah,
But it'll be such a good motivation for me to figure out an NFT,
yeah,
and then you will also join me and anyone who's listening to this episode can join us into this challenge, and we'll give ourselves one day.
yeah,
We just have to pick up a pre-existing work, something that's already shot. Even if you want to launch like a process video, think of something that you already have.
yeah,
You don't have to create,
yeah,
and give yourself some time. It's going to even take like not even an hour or so, and let's all do
yeah. Let's
like an NFT
say,
club.
yes,
Yes,
so cool.
yes. Let's think. Let's think of
I
more
like
on this.
that.
Let me do that. But okay, you were saying something. I forgot.
I was saying that you'll still earn money in the secondary market.
Yes, 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 yes. I think this is something that you said, has been missing,
Mm,
and it gives. I think also a lot of us think short term,
yeah,
and if we see this as like you said, as an investment that you're making in yourself today, and investment pays you off in the longer run.
yeah,
What you invest in today, even if it stays there, even if it's just there, but who knows what's going to happen in another couple of years.
yeah.
I
And I
mean,
think I think it'll become so much because already on Twitter you can use the NFTs you bought as your profile image. And if you use an
oh,
NFT, I think if you use an NFT, the profile picture isn't round; it's I think a hexagon.
oh wow, really?
I've heard that Instagram is also looking into doing something in the NFT space. There's the whole metaverse is getting bigger and bigger, where you
Yeah.
display your NFTs in your house or in your properties there. So
Perfect.
if you have an NFT that you own, you can display it in your house, and it'll have a special frame, so like people will know that that's an original NFT.
NFT.
Yeah. So it's definitely,
Oh wow.
I think it's definitely here to stay.
I'm of course. I mean, in any shape or form, we're already moving forward in the digital world. The things are moving faster than ever,
Yeah.
shaping faster than ever. Um, a lot of new things are coming up, and it's only going to change from here. We don't know where this would go, but I'm sure that this direction is here to stay. Whatever happens next is, but the digitization is here to stay for
Yeah.
anything else.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have anything else that you want to share? Um,
Um, no, I think just don't be scared. Just try it.
yes,
I
that's a
think
good, by the way.
new things are always scary.
What do you
Always kind of,
what do you want to say to people or artists who are listening who feel overwhelmed? I think overwhelm is a very common feeling for all of us
yeah,
because we're already taking so much more information, sell on this, do on that, make prints, do
yeah,
this, do commissions, do freelance, and like all of those things. Um, Overwhelm is quite an obvious outcome for a lot of
yeah.
us. What do you want to say to people who feel that?
I think I'd probably say don't look at the whole big NFT market. Look at yourself. Look at your baby steps that you can take if you want to sell it. Look, instead of looking at the, I don't know, whole forest and get overwhelmed with all the trees, just look at your tree and then climb that and then go to the next. Don't.
I love that. I always love that idea. And
Yeah.
I think that's what you did for me today also, because I think before we started this podcast, I came from a place where I wanted to do an NFT. And again, for the thrill of launching, I feel like I'm someone who, if there's something that's happening, I would give it a try for once. And
Yeah.
then if I don't like it, I may let it just go. But for me, it's very, I if something interests me, I have to try it.
Yeah. I'm the
But
same.
I had a big cloud.
Yeah.
You've taken the first step. You're leading this now. So, and I think I had this really big cloud, and I'll tell you what happened and why in this conversation I have insisted on the fact that we repurpose something that we already have. Because what happened with me was I had been thinking about doing an NFT, but my mind, of course, instantly didn't go into the process of how to figure things out. Of course, that's why I have you here because I was locating, but I knew that I didn't want to go onto the internet, like absorb a million more information and then get overwhelmed. And that can, I wanted to speak to someone who speaks the same language as I do and I can ask as basic questions. And, but what I did was I started creating like a digital work. I knew I could pick up another work that I already had. I could photograph, but for some reason, I was like, I'm going to pick up a digital work.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't, I started it. I started a couple of weeks ago. I was, I was actually like, I photographed like one of my previous works and I was actually altering that. And I did it for a day. I haven't gotten the time to actually go back to it.
Yeah.
Now that has become like a burden on me, like because I like unfinished projects, we carry them on our shoulders, we have to let them go.
Yeah.
Like, and for me, if I've had set my mind onto something, now unless I don't do it, it's going to be on my shoulder.
Yeah.
So now I have to get this off my shoulder. So now I have that digital work that's way before like being finished, and I know that I'll have to invest so much more hours for doing that.
Yeah.
And then this whole cycle comes in. Oh, now I have to invest so much of hours. Is it worth it? Should I really be doing this right now, or should I be doing something else? You
Yeah.
know,
But I mean,
now,
that's any artwork.
yeah,
You paint, you spend hours and hours and days on a painting, but you also don't know, will you sell it? Will you
that's
like
true.
it? Like sometimes I've spent
That's
hours on a
true.
painting and hated it and painted over it again. So,
That's true. But I think the only difference in this one for me was I knew I wanted to experiment. I wasn't like I it was like this. I wanted to get, I wasn't creating, maybe again, yeah. I wasn't creating primarily. I didn't choose a medium or something because I wanted to create. And I think that's a little different when, you're painting because you really wanted to paint,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For me, the whole concept right now was to experiment. I wanted to experiment with NFTs. Now,
Yeah.
that got in the way when I complicated things for myself, and I was like, no, I'm going to do this, and like I complicated the whole stuff. And now and a couple of weeks, like a days before when now we're recording this, I was thinking that I had this goal that, okay, when I'm going to speak to Valerie, I'm going to make sure that for myself and anyone who's listening, we can do this in a day, because we all have so much commit, we already overcommit to things, like, we're making things for hours and days and months and
Yeah.
not knowing how things are going to pan
And
out, like.
and I also think with the new technology that people are overwhelmed or scared of. It's like, remember when Instagram first started or Facebook first started? We all got onto it, and was no instruction manual. You just kind of
Yeah,
figured
you
things.
figure it out and but thankfully we didn't have you then, but we have you now.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's what, if you I just want to say that I'm going to do that. I'm going to correct that mistake of mine, because I think you figure out, I think you once you make things easier for yourself in the beginning, as you figure things out, like, and then once you get a hang of it and you know, okay, this is, you want to do it, and then you can go as long as you want, as big as you want, and
Yeah.
like,
And
just to keep that overwhelm
yeah.
at par. I mean, you're here. You've sold one already.
Yeah.
You're launching a collection.
Yeah.
You're here because in the beginning you kept things simpler for you. Maybe you will do like a more complicated collection this time, or like, I don't know. It doesn't even have to be complicated. I think I just have this. I will always make things complicated for myself. I don't know why.
I was like, but that's I think that's your stumbling blocks, because then it's too complicated and you're not going to do it. Whereas if you just keep it simple,
Yes.
just do something
Yes.
work that
Yes.
you already have, and even if you just, I don't know, take a photo and maybe add something digitally, something small
Yes.
to be big, then already it's different. So if you don't want to just upload a photo, you can just add something to it.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I mean, maybe pick up a pick up an old piece that you have that's not sold, that's been in your studio for a very long time.
Yeah.
Pick that up, photograph that. I think that's such a safe thought, because I think I love the idea of giving our work another
Yeah.
and another chance and another chance until
And
it
then
finally
you can even say, like, if you buy this NFT, you also get the original. You know,
original. Yeah, I think that's such a great
with
idea.
that, then
Yes.
you can even create a bigger incentive for someone to buy it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So, and it also gives you another purpose when you know that you're trying to repurpose something that you've already done
Yeah.
and giving it another chance. It shortens that process. The learning curves become smaller, the stumbles, like the roadblocks become lesser, and the purpose becomes even stronger, because you know that you've made something already and you want to give it another chance. And then you're left with an hour of just, I don't even think it'll take an hour. What do you say?
I don't think so. I think you can do it in a few, like half an hour at the most. Like at least
Perfect.
setting everything up, and then it might take longer to list it or to mint it, but you've got it all set up.
Okay.
So it's yeah, it's a very fast process.
Amazing.
And then plus, if you sell it and you've got some ether in your wallets, that'll increase in value as well. Well,
Yeah.
increase
Oh, I had this question also. Now,
overall.
what do you do with this Ethereum? Like, let's say if I've added some money. Now, let's also talk about, oh, I missed this. Yes, yes. Let's talk about how you sold it. What happens when you sell? What is this intake of money? Like, let's talk about that also.
So
Talk
I
about that
sold it. Yeah.
in
So
detail.
like I said, I sold it to a friend of mine after chatting to him about NFTs, and then he was interested, wanted to buy it, so he bought it. And then once he bought it, I had the money in my Metamask wallet.
Okay.
I personally left it in my wallet because I knew that I wanted to list another one. So I knew I can then just use the Ethereum for the next one. If you want to get the money out, you can just transfer it to your bank.
And does it like have any transferring charges, or is there anything like that?
Not that I know of, no. I
Okay.
haven't tried it because I just left it in there because I just wanted
You're
to.
here for the longer game.
Yeah, and I wanted to invest in cryptocurrency anyway, so I was like, that's
Anyways.
a good thing to have in there for the long run anyway.
Okay. How's your experience? Have you used OpenSea now? Your first was on
My first
OpenSea?
was on Foundation, and my second one
Okay.
I uploaded on Foundation as well. But my new collection, I'm gonna upload on OpenSea because I'm gonna use the Polygon blockchain.
And okay, now let's also talk about this Polygon blockchain and environment. How do I make this switch? Like if I want to be an informed creator.
You can go on MetaMask and then choose to be on the Polygon blockchain. So
Okay.
I don't know if there's a direct switch or if you have to add, but if you Google it, it'll like MetaMask.
Yes.
Like I've Googled it and I saw that on the MetaMask website, there's a pretty simple, I think it's like a 3-step process to switch it over to Polygon.
Okay.
So you'd still work with Ether, but it's on the MetaMask.
Different blockchain.
The currency is the same, but a different blockchain. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
So
Yes,
it's kind
yes,
of like
it
the
does.
same
It
bank
does.
in a way, like different currency. Oh no, same currency but different bank in a way.
Yeah, more healthier bank,
Yes.
more sustainable and environment friendly bank.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Valerie, I feel so much lighter already because I felt like I came up with this like baggage, and now I know exactly what I can do and how long it will take me, the effort it would take for me, and I can't even tell you how helpful that is.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for inviting me on your podcast.
Thank you for coming, but I'm not letting you go. I want also you can you also talk a little bit about your NFT collection coming up and anything else that you're doing, and people who are watching this, where can they find you? Where can they see your NFTs? And if they want to reach out to you, can they? If so, how?
Yeah, so you can reach out to me on the best is probably on my Instagram. So if you go to I am Valerism,
Yes, I
or
love that.
my website is valerism.com. So you can
Okay,
contact me through either if you have any
wow,
questions. I'm more than happy to help anyone. And
amazing.
for my next projects, I'm like working on a NFT collection, and then I'm also
What's
working on
that about?
my NFT collection. It'll
Yeah,
probably be similar to my first 2 NFTs, which is like playing with the emojis and digital space and our fast ranging emotions as we're scrolling
oh
through
wow.
our social media.
Okay,
Like, when you scroll through and you like give
yeah,
a heart emoji and the next
yeah.
cry emoji and the next one an angry emoji, and you're like, your face hasn't actually changed, but you just kind of like,
That's true. I love that. I can recall that video, and
yeah.
I really love that one.
Oh, thank
You
you.
flip those emojis.
Yeah. So I quite like that theme. So I'll keep playing with that theme in my NFTs
Perfect.
for now.
Amazing, amazing. When are you going to put this out? Do you have like a timeline in mind?
I want to put it out before the end of March, so I'm kind of still working on that. I
Yay.
want to put out 3 or 4, so all at once.
Okay, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I'll let
Amazing,
you know.
amazing, amazing. Yes, please let us know because we would definitely want to share that, cheer for you, and make some noise.
Yes.
Um, okay, I have this. Would you want to do do you want to do all of us to do like an NFT together?
Like release one at the same time, you mean, or do one
Probably.
collaborative? We can
I don't
also
know
do
how
one
many people can.
collaborative. So there's also people that collaborate on NFTs. So then
Wow,
profit
really?
the
How
profit.
does that happen?
But you basically just create it and then you split the profits with two profiles.
Oh, wow. Yes. Let's do that also. Yeah, maybe we could do that.
Yeah, I'd be
Or also for everyone who's joining, let's do that. Let's do this. And let's also do like, I want, you know what I want? I want accountability. I know accountability has always worked for me.
yeah,
Anyone who's listening to this episode, we're just going to put this like crisp in the show notes on how and what steps you need to take to make an NFT. But basically, even then, a lot of people feel unable, like they don't feel like they've been able to execute it because we lack accountability.
yeah.
So, to hold myself accountable, you are already way like you're already there, but I can hold you accountable. And anyone who's listening, like we can be accountable for each other. Um, like I'm going to convert, like I'm going to do like a NFT in one day. Like let's have a challenge. Let's launch one NFT in a day. Like
Okay.
one NFT in a one day, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And can you come up with a hashtag?
It's a good
Let me
question.
think.
Do you want it like an
Okay.
adds to hearts?
Yeah, Valerie.
Huh?
NFT art. I don't know. I mean, I am so bad with hashtags.
ATH NFT.
Let's do that.
ATH
NFT with ATH. Let's all do that.
NFT. Yes. Perfect.
Perfect. So we have a hashtag. We have, so, okay, let's do what? I'm going to, I'm going to document my NFT journey. Like
Yeah.
when I do that, now that I have a camera, I'm going to make the use of that as well.
Nice.
So, and my thoughts and how I feel about it. The hashtag is NFT with ATH.
Yes.
Let's all, and the challenge is we have to launch an NFT in a day.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you are going to, once you do that, you're going to tag Valerie, Arts to Hearts. You want to tag me? Just tag us and let us know that you have done this. I mean, if a lot of people join us, let's do like a page on Arts to Hearts and list all these NFTs. And let's do that. I think it'll
I
be
think that'd be
so
really cool.
exciting.
That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yes, I think that'll be very exciting. All of us coming together, like how I think sometimes just that is the power of people coming
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Like one little action can convert into something bigger.
Yeah.
So if we have like, even if we have like 30 people, 40 people can be launching, I mean, it'll be a lot, so many people, like 30 people who take an action. I mean, um, from this episode, launch an NFT and like there's like all of us coming together towards like some open sea or whatever.
It's just
And once you launch that NFT, share your thoughts, keep sharing, keep tagging Valerie, keep tagging me, Arts to Hearts, so we'll know what you're doing, and that'll encourage each other. If I launch, I know it'll inspire you. Once you do, it'll keep me accountable, Valerie accountable. And once we have a few NFTs together, let's put this together as like an NFT arts club. On Arts to Hearts, we list you in NFTs. There's no cost, of course. All your we'll do the promotions, but we really want to do this because I think like we all need to come together for something to create some
so
magic.
awesome. And yeah, extra free promotion for your NFT.
Absolutely. And also I think the fear of doing something alone versus when we
Yeah.
do it with,
Yeah.
like, I find, no, I am not doing this alone and I have a group of an army of women who are going to join me. The thrill of doing something is just
Oh,
so much
yeah,
better.
absolutely. You're so right.
So okay, let's do this. March, we'll keep March as an NFT month.
Yeah.
And throughout the March, everyone who wants to join in, they can listen to this episode and they can launch an NFT. You can use the hashtag NFT with ATH and you can tag Valerie, you can tag me, Arts to Hearts. We'll know. Share your process. Use an existing artwork. Take us through your process. Once you have your NFT, share it. We will reshare that. We will promote that for you. Once we have enough people, we will launch like any NFT art club ATH NFT club something, and we'll have that, like maybe like an NFT show. What do you say? Like a
That's
show
right.
curated via the podcast?
Yeah, because now there's so many virtual shows anyway. Like that would
Yes. Yeah, we do virtual show
exactly.
every
Yeah,
month.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we'll
So
do like
that would,
free any. So this is like a secret project only for podcast listeners. You can be a part of a virtual show for NFTs. You just have to join this challenge of NFT with ATH, Valerie and me, and we'll have Valerie host this show for us. And let's do this. Let's make this happen.
that's so exciting. I'm really excited about it. I hope.
Me too, me too. And I have to get to go, and then I'll have to get going and work. So we'll do this. Let's anyone who's listening, who's interested, just join us. Drop us a message if you have thoughts on how we can do this better. Let's do this. Let's do this together.
Yeah,
Let us all take one step forward by holding each other's hand, cheering for each other, and just supporting each other. I think there's nothing more exciting than that.
I agree. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much. I'm just so glad we did this.
Me too. I had such a great time. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and I can't wait to see your NFT with the ATH, mine and everybody else's.
Yes, I can't wait for that to kick off. I look forward to seeing everyone's
Perfect.
NFTs.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. I can't wait to see you soon.
Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. You can find all the details and links mentioned in the show notes of this episode available on www.arts2heartsproject.com. And if you like this episode, please don't forget to tag us in your stories and leave us a review here on iTunes or any of your favorite platforms. It really helps us to keep the show going. Thank you so much. I'm sending you lots of love, and I can't wait to be back here soon again. Bye.